Hi YouTube, this is Felicia with Bible Scraps and your Fun Stampers Journey coach, and I have a sweet tutorial to share. It's June, so it's all about the bride, right? We hear a lot about weddings during this time of year, and so I thought, you know what, let me create these simple mixed media wedding tags, and I just love how these turned out. I like to dabble in mixed media from time to time, and these were super fun to make, in part because I only used a handful of products and a handful of steps and techniques. Now, though these were very easy to make, let me tell you, I had some ding dong moments in this video. And yes, I am sharing those ding dong moments, but these were still easy and very fun to make, and they will make the perfect, right, bookmarker for that special bride. And that bookmarker can, of course, be used in a book, but how about in her wedding planner or wedding journal? So these were super cool. But before we get into our tutorial, I must share the good news. I gotta spread the good news because we at Fun Stampers Journey, we are having a breakup sale. Breakup is always hard to do, right? But this breakup sale is pretty fun because we have some fabulous items that are on clearance and on sale. So I want to quickly share some things you could pick up. Of course, the things I'm using in this video are mostly on clearance because they have come back by popular demand. So we will have these items until they sell out or until June the 30th, whichever is first. Starting off with this beautiful bride stamp set. I don't create a lot of wedding type things, but I have made wedding cards. I saw this and snatched it up real quick. I will link my Fun Stampers Journey clearance and sale shopping lot, and you could take a more in-depth look at these products, but it's half price, you guys. It's about $8.50 or $9.50. I forget the price. Now, I was super excited when I saw this script stamp come back by popular demand. It's also on clearance right now, 50% off. You will see me use these items in this tutorial. We also, now this, you will want to pick this up. I will have the name of this embossing folder right about now, but it is gorgeous. It's a 3D embossing folder. These next items I used for this tutorial, they're not on clearance, to my knowledge. This is the branched teardrop die. And then I used Tag Elements. It's one of our ATSs. And then I used a ball chain stencil. Before I go any further, let me inform you on how you can shop with me if you so desire to do so. I would love to have you as a customer. You can go to www.funstampersjourney.com/Bible Scraps, and that will take you directly to my storefront. You could also visit funstampersjourney.com, just the regular website. At the top of the screen, hit the Coach Finders tab, and then type in my name, Felicia Hands with a C, and click on my profile picture, which is a picture of my original Fun Stampers Journey shopping lot. When you click on that picture, you'll know you're then on my shopping page. You could also click on the link in this description box, and that will take you directly to my storefront. Now, if you are one of my existing customers, you do have to create a new passcode. Okay, make sure you do that. Make sure you see my profile picture. Make sure you see my name, Felicia Hands. If you don't see my profile picture, if you don't see my name, you are not on my shopping page. I'm asking all of my customers, and thank you who have recently placed an order. Thank all of you, and thank those of you who have contacted me via email to let me know that you placed an order. We have a new website. The crew is still working out bugs. And so I want you as my customer, and I want to ensure that you are my customer. So please send me an email at biblescraps@yahoo.com to let me know that you placed an I shared the tutorial. I want to give you a rundown of some items that we currently have on clearance. If you saw my sale and clearance shopping lot, you have seen these items, but this sale will not last forever. And so every video or every chance I get, I want to share it with you. This Let's Twist stamp set, it's one of my favorite. I purchased this with my original order, and I was so sad when I learned it is retiring. Right now, it's 30% off. I will have a link to all of my tutorials using these retiring items in my description box, but I made 10 cards using this one stamp set. You would want to pick that one up. Another one of my faves, Yummy and Delicious. This cupcake stamp set will never go out of style. I made a slider flippy card. You can check out my video if you want to know how I created this. Now, this next stamp set, I was super excited. We brought it back by popular demand. Now, some coaches or some independent consultants, they don't believe in buying retired items because there's no profit in it for them. But when I saw this stamp set, as a matter of fact, when I see any set I like, I want it whether or not I could make a profit from it, because I want it in my stash. I want to be able to use it 5, 10, 15 years from now. And I made the cutest ice cream truck card. This is my swing flippy card. You want this set, you guys. You can check out this video in my description box as well. I have refilmed this part over and over and over again. Sometimes I can be the biggest ding dong. My husband calls me ding dong, and I call him Dodo. We are the ding dong and Dodo family. Whew, I tell you, these are the number of times that I refilmed this aspect of this video. I'm such a ding dong because I wrote out the steps to take to recreate these beautiful wedding tags, and I didn't even follow my own directions. So let me go ahead and do that to get it done right. Start off with any color cardstock that you would like to use, okay? And cut it down to size. I am using the oatmeal cookie because it's one of my absolute favorite colors. It's a craft color. And which way do this thing? Okay, I guess it goes that way. It's kind of weird. I'm right-handed, and this seems to be for a left-handed person. But you know what? It gets the job done. But that's cool to have tools for left and right-handed people. Whenever we go to Frisco, my husband loves to stop at the left-handed store. It's so fun. Everything in the store is for left-handed people. It's kind of cool. Okay, so I've cut my cardstock down to the size of the tag. I will be die cutting. Now, this next product, you guys, I'm going to feature this in a Greatest Craft Find, because this is one of my greatest craft finds. When I share how many of these I got, more importantly, the price I paid, you will agree too that this is a Greatest Craft Find. Okay, so this is fabric paper, everybody, on a roll. I'm not sure if you can find this at your local craft store. Not on a roll. You can buy fabric paper in the sheets, and I have some, but I am using this one on a roll. Now, what I love about this particular fabric, it's not cotton, though you can use cotton, okay? This particular fabric has a sheen to it, a nice soft sheen, and it's very thin and it's smooth. And I love that. Okay, so the next product that I'm using, and by the way, let me say, you can make your own fabric paper. I will link my do-it-yourself video. I made washi tape and washi fabric. Have you ever heard of washi fabric before? Well, in that video, I shared a method of making your own fabric paper. And basically what that is, fabric fused to paper. You normally would buy this to print on it. Okay, so this next product I'm using, I've had this in my stash like for years. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What? Okay, this is the fabric paper, you guys. Another ding-dong moment. Okay, let me grab my mounting adhesive. I've had this for years. Framers use this to frame. It's a big roll of adhesive, and you just place whatever you need adhesive on. Now you're supposed to use a squeegee. I'm using my brayer. And you roll it until the adhesive transfers to whatever you're using. And you could see all that adhesive on the back. Set that to the side. And then you need to fuse the two together. Real simple, right? Just like so. Gonna take, now these scissors are supposed to be glue free. Let's see how they work. Oh, not bad. I mean, they stick, but it comes right off. But it cuts pretty good compared to my regular scissors. Because every time you cut, you have to stop and release the sticky from it. But these are pretty good. I got these at Tuesday Morning. Okay. Now, I need to pause and read my directions. Because I will not film this. Okay, you guys. This is why I'm a dodo. No, I'm a ding dong. My husband, he's dodo. Because I already messed up. I can't use this. No, I messed up. Felicia, what is wrong with you? I'm going to take a moment and laugh at myself and take a longer moment and pray for myself. Lord Jesus, take the ding dong out of me. Okay, if I continue on, I will get a result I'm not looking for. Now, these are nice. They're usable. But no, I'm not going for this look. So let me start over. Put my directions right in front of me. For some reason, my printer is printing out my font really small. And that's probably why I don't want to look at my directions. I'm using that Google Print Cloud thing. Ugh. And I don't know what happened. But anyway, okay, so I need to... Oh, okay. This is the step I'm missing. Well, let me cut down my cardstock again to the right size. Oh. Okay, I guess you could use this trimmer both ways. Okay, so cut it down. And then what I need to do, Felicia, is, this is my fabric paper. I need to emboss my fabric paper first. Yeah, need to do that before I fuse the fabric paper to the cardstock. That's important. Let me cut it down a little bit, because this is too big. My goodness, what? You know what? I was filming this video like 2 o'clock in the morning, and then started this morning. I need to just alrighty. Now, following my directions, what you need to do is take your fabric paper and put it in your folder, fabric side down. That's important if you want to have embossing on the front of your tag. And you know what? Let me go back. I will use the Cuttlebug for this one. I originally, oh my goodness, my dog is tearing up my punches. Sasha, what are you doing? What? Sasha. Okay, you know what? Oh my goodness. You tore it in pieces. Look what she did. And she started on that one. Oh, and that was you, Sasha, not Oink, who tore up my punch the other day. Okay, you guys need to get out. Come on. Come on. Go, 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 go. Come here. Come on, Sasha. Come on. No, you better obey me. Come on. No, don't roll over. Get up. Come on. Get, ugh. Sasha, go. Get out. Sasha, you need to apologize. Say you're sorry. Sasha. Look, Sasha. You can't even look at me, huh? Oh, help me, Lord. Okay. I used my Teresa Collins when I created these. I'm going to try the Cuttlebug again. I thought it was the Cuttlebug's fault, the reason why I wasn't getting the look that I was going for. And then I went back to my Teresa Collins only to realize, you know what, Felicia? It's not the Cuttlebug's fault. You are not following your own steps. So let's see if the Cuttlebug yields the same. I'm going for the dimension, the detail of the beaded look on the tag. So let's see if the Cuttlebug gives a nice deep impression. So you want to have your fabric face down. Now this only came off, you guys, because I have been doing some serious embossing with different machines. But it snaps right back on. I think I will pick me up another one once I get my sandwich correct. It took me forever to figure out what sandwich to use in the Cuttlebug. So depending on the machine that you use, your sandwich will vary. I have my embossing folder and I'm using a tan matte. I'm not sure. This might be a Spellbinders matte. And I know you can find mattes in different thicknesses. This is a thinner matte. And then a regular Cuttlebug plate. And let's send that through. And I'm hoping that I get a nice deep impression. But you want to emboss your fabric paper first. Yes, that's what I'm going for. Gorgeous. Yes. Whew. Thank you, Lord, for having mercy on me. Helping me figure out what I was doing wrong. Okay. So now what we're going to do is add adhesive to the cardstock. Okay. Now I normally would add adhesive to my fabric paper, but it's okay. No matter which one you decide to add your adhesive to. I hope I made this part big enough. But you see the embossing. And you know what? That explains. I'm such a ding dong. That explains why on one of my cards, on this one, on the back, you don't see any embossing. But you do see the embossing on this one. Well, that's because I embossed my entire tag. This one, I followed my directions and only embossed the fabric. Okay, Felicia, I get a kick out of myself. Okay, so now I'm going to use one of my favorite dies by Sizzix. It's a Tim Holtz die, and it's the tag and book plates die. And I will die cut this out off camera. I'm going to use my Big Shot Pro. All right, you guys, so I made another boo-boo, but I'm not going to start over. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. What I might just do is cut this part off. What you want to do, because the embossing folder will not emboss, depending on the size of your tag, you will have to send your fabric in a second time to emboss the bottom part. Okay, so I'm not going to do that. What I will do is trim off this excess. I'm going to do that because Felicia is a ding-dong today. And I think I might just be a ding-dong for life. So I can accept that. But who's to say that your tag has to be a certain size anyway? So, yeah. Now, what we need to do... Oh, wait a minute. Felicia, are you really a ding-dong? I didn't follow my instructions, you guys. Okay, it's not my fault because I can barely read it. My printer printed it out so small. Look at that. But I'm totally doing this out of order because what you would want to have done before you embossed your fabric, you would have wanted to stamp your background. I didn't do it. Oh my goodness. So we're going to do it after. It should still work. Oh my goodness, Felicia. I'm a ding dong for life. I'm going to get me a shirt and say that. Ding dong for life. Okay, so I'm going to use this beautiful script background stamp and I'm going to ink it up. I just, wow. Wow, I can't believe myself. I'm having a serious moment. Okay, so I'm going to reverse stamp. Place the fabric side, the front side of your tag down. Now, some crafters, they use their hands, but I like to use my brayer. Just give it a good roll. Okay, so it's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. If you happen to be a ding-dong like me and do it out of order, it'll still work. I'm going to stamp the back side too. And I probably should have rolled twice on the front side just to get a deeper impression. But you know what? You really can't go wrong. I mean, if you did it backwards like myself, who's to say you did it backwards, right? Nobody. Okay, so let me pause for the cause and take a look at my steps. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do right now is take a sander and I want to fray my edges. So, because this is fabric and you can see it starting to fray on the bottom, because this is fabric paper, you will get that frayed look. And I love that because it makes this tag look shabby. And I love that. So I'm not going to work a whole lot with it right now. But you get the hang of it. And if I want, I could pull the frayed edges out as well. So I love that look. Okay, let me look at my notes. Felicia, take your time. Alrighty, so now what I'm going to do is take my bride And what did I do with her? She's already on my stamp block. And I'm going to stamp her in a darker color ink because I want her to stand out from the background. And so because we are stamping on dimension, you do want to apply enough ink and enough pressure. Now, truth be told, I could have stamped her first and then embossed. I did do that in one of these other examples that I shared, but this is the original way I created, well, kind of, because I'm messing up on camera, right? Anyway, it works. Hold it down because you're stamping on dimension. And there you see the bride, right? Yeah, yeah, yay. Okay, I need to stamp the sentiment. Now, we also have on clearance another wedding set. I'm going to pick that set up. It's, I forget the name of it, but it has the tuxedo in it. So you could definitely follow these steps and use the tuxedo. I know we always tend to focus on the bride, right? Not so much the groom. Okay, so this could have been a little darker. Yeah, but I'm not going to worry about that. No, no, no. Okay, so embossed. We stamped our background. We stamped our bride and our sentiment. Now we are going to add some dimension with this stencil. And I am using Texture Paste by Heidi Swapp. This is her metallic paste. You don't need a whole lot. And I love this stencil. Ooh, these circles look like little gems. So pretty. Okay, so just add a little bit of paste. And I will be stenciling just in random places on the edges. Now her paste, it dries pretty fast, and I like that. Oops, kind of made a mistake there. Now I'm going for a natural, neutral look. You could use any color of paste that you like, depending on what you are creating. And I probably need a little bit more there. No. I want to use it all up. I don't like to waste anything. Okay, and how about I just add a little bit right there. Now, we need to let that dry, but you do want to clean off your stencil right after you use it, because this modeling paste will dry on your stencil. Clean off whatever tool you use to apply it, and I'm going to wipe off. Oops, I touched this part. You don't want to do that. So that's how it looks wet. And if I wanted to, I could add glitter on top of the wet modeling paste, and that would be pretty as well. But I'm not going to do that because the focus will be on the dress. So once this dries, we will come back and embellish. So my tag is dry. It takes maybe 10 minutes for this texture paste to dry. Now that I look at it, or can you see it? I love the sheen in this texture paste. I could have made my texture paste a little thicker. It's thicker on this tag, but nonetheless, it's there, and I hope the different angles give you good views. Alrighty, now it's time to embellish our bride, and I simply love this technique. Ooh, I am using one of my favorite products by Fun Stamper's Journey. You guys have heard me rave about this Journey glaze. I absolutely love it. Well, I'm going to use it to Well, you just take it and you fill in the dress. You want to fill the dress in. I do mine completely. I fill the whole thing in. But if you wanted to just accent her dress, well, you would put the Journey Glaze in those areas. I want full coverage. So I need to make sure I add enough. Now, because this is clear glaze and because our design is clear, you want to be careful that you fill it all in. You want it to spread. You don't have to add a whole lot, but if you don't fill it in correctly, you can always go back and add more glaze after the fact, but sometimes that will cause your image to look bumpy. So take your time and add enough the first time. I'm not doing her arms or her head, just her dress. I love the silhouette look of this stamp set. You could do a whole lot with it. And as I look at this one, I realize I stamped bride-to-be over her head a little bit. So to get a better look at your image, you can tilt it different angles. And if you need to add more Journey Glaze, go ahead and do that. Now, I think I have enough, and I'm going to use one of my favorite products of all time. We don't sell this, but I have a lot of this. I used to do a lot of micro beaded work, and I'm going to start back using that technique because I absolutely love working with these micro beads. Well, that's what I'm using here. So just take your micro beads and sprinkle some on. Keep in mind you can use any color you like, but because it's a wedding, it's a bride, I want to stick with my whites and my neutrals. And that's how it looks while it's wet, but it's pretty already. This is spectacular. I love it. Now, if it's too thick, you can play around. You can take a needle and kind of, move it around a little bit, but I'm going to leave mine as is. I believe in serendipity. Let whatever is supposed to happen, let it just happen. But this is so gorgeous. So I'm going to move on to the next step of the card, and this is optional. This tag is still drying. I know I keep calling these cards. These are tags. Okay, so while this one dries, I'm going to show the next step on a tag that I made already. And I'm going to add this extra dimension you see here. You don't need it because it's pretty all by itself, but if you want that extra whatever, you could go ahead and take this additional step. Start off with vellum. Absolutely love vellum. I use vellum a lot. And you want to die cut the branched teardrop die with your vellum. But before you do that, add your adhesive. You could send this through your Xyron machine. And that's what I did for this tag. But you know what? It didn't stick that well. I'm not sure if I used my repositionable Xyron adhesive or what, but I'm going to try this particular adhesive. Now I have to cut this one out because I will send it through my Xyron machine. My die cutting machine. You could use any adhesive you have. It will all work. I love that our dies are green. It makes finding the dies easier, but it makes crafting even funner when you're working with supplies and tools. That's pretty. Okay, I'm going to use my good Doodlebug machine again, and my desk is a mess. I don't know where anything is. I started off organized, but the more frustrated I got, the more ding-dong mistakes I made, the less organized. And I love the size of these phrases. And of course, I love that it's on cling. These would be great for your mini tags. Okay, so there's no rhyme or reason. Make sure you are stamping on the vellum side and simply stamp. Now, because this is vellum, it's a slippery material. You do want to let this dry about 5 minutes before you touch it to prevent any smearing. So I used the one that I made off camera. This was made with the Xyron, and I just sprayed some adhesive on the back. Now, you take it and you position it where you would like. I do recommend, if you want to add an additional layer of dimension, play around with your design before you do any stamping, because as you can see, if I add this here, I'm going to cover up part of the bride-to-be. Oops, and I just tore it, which is okay, because I was going to state you can tear this. You don't have to keep it one piece. It's tearing because I added that that spray adhesive, so it's beginning to stick. So let me just go ahead and just add this down before it gets too stuck on my fingers. And I'll show you something in a sec. Okay. Well, you can fold back your leaves, and I'll show the other card I made. I'll come back and stamp or punch a hole there again, but you can flip your leaves over, and I like that. I did that with this tag, but I didn't add the additional adhesive. I'll go back and add that so the back part will lay flat. But yeah, I like that. I like that look of extending the branch to the other side. This video up. My dogs, they have been acting up all morning. I have been stopping, pausing, and refilming. So they're going to be dogs. They're going to bark. I'm going to finish up, because this is still drying. So I'll just finish up the technique using this tag here. The last step is to add your twine. And I am using our Journey twine. It's the natural color. It's perfect for this design, this layout. And there's no rhyme or reason to it. You can see what I've done here. I just wrapped the twine around and through and around. Now, you could tie your twine and make a knot, but what I'm going to do is use a pop dot. I mean, I might go back and tie it later, but use a pop dot and hold it down. And I don't mind the extra length of the twine, but you could cut that, of course. And we have just made, after all the mistakes and the ding-dong moments, a beautiful, simple wedding card, mixed media wedding card tag. And I did not stamp the back. But this is gorgeous. I love it. Look at that. I'm done. I love how these turned out. These remind me of something you would see in one of those elegant crafting magazines. If you have been inspired by my creativity, please give me a thumbs up and like this video. Also, subscribe if you are interested in more unique tutorials. Feel free to share this video. Feel free to adopt any of my ideas in this video. I only ask for proper credits. Do give a shout out and do link back to this tutorial. Now, if you are interested in shopping with me, don't forget to check out my links in the description box. Well, I want to thank you all for watching. As always, blessings.